Hey guys, welcome back to Pickin' Roots and Shoots. I'm Kelly, and today I'm going to be showing you my latest order that came in from Azure Standard. I can't wait to show you all the different things I got this month. Okay, guys, bear with me. My voice is a little bit funky today. I'm actually feeling okay, but I think tomorrow is going to be a doozy. The kids all had this last week, husband too, and so I'm just the last shoe to fall. Anyways, I got our shipment in from Azure yesterday, and I'm so excited for some of these items. I have to start with this one right here. We got a new espresso machine, and I am super excited to try this. This is the Azure Standard Mix of the Azure Standard Market, and this is their espresso beans. Now, I haven't tried it yet. I will definitely probably maybe, I don't know. I'm using a lot of words here. I will try to get you guys a video of the how it works in the machine. I will say, when you're used to buying coffee from the store, it comes in like a Mylar bag. This feels like a paper bag, so I'm definitely going to be repackaging this. I'll probably put about half of it into like a big canning jar and go ahead and vacuum seal that to really keep it nice and fresh. And I may put the other half into a Mylar bag for the countertop or something like that to really keep it fresh. Uh, it's packaged really nice. I just don't feel like it's as robust as some of the Mylar bags that you get from the grocery store, but it smells amazing and I can't wait to try it. I have one cold thing that I do want to get put away pretty quick. Last month, I got one of these Nancy's sour creams and I loved it. It was really good. I said in my last video that I wanted to make sour cream with this. So using this to inoculate full cream, and it worked out beautifully. However, when you have six people and they all live in the same house, they don't all know that they need to save you that last little bit. So the every little bit of the sour cream, I think I made 2 or 3 batches for the month. That last little bit of sour cream, I had it set aside so I could make another batch, and I was waiting to get some more cream, and somebody ate it. So I did buy another one of these. Might not be a bad idea to have an extra one on hand. I'll just go ahead and pop that in the fridge now. On to other new things for the month. Be back up and give you guys some pricing. I know that some people really appreciate that, and I totally forgot. So I will back up and pop this in. Where is it? I bought it on a separate order. I totally forgot. I actually had this one shipped separate because I decided I wanted it the day after our orders closed. Okay, so this was a 5 pound bag, and when I purchased it, it was 84.68. So organic espresso beans are kind of spendy. I think we were spending probably about $10 per pound for non-organic at the grocery store, just trying to get something that we could have because we were excited about the new machine. So I'm really hoping that we end up liking this. I know there's some other varieties out there, but I was really excited to try this one. Yeah, so that works out to right at $17 a pound. So again, it is kind of expendy, kind of spendy. However, with the espresso beans, you're not using as much as you would with a regular coffee filter. So I feel pretty good about it and I can't wait to give it a try. Okay. Now, my Nancy's organic sour cream was 4.24. On to the next item. I decided I wanted to try, last month when I said I was going to go down to just having one or two types of beans. Yeah, I didn't stick with that. I decided I wanted to try their savory bean mix. So this comes in a 25 pound bag. It was, I think, like $1.78 per pound, but you get some varieties of beans that are a little bit more expensive mixed with some varieties that are a little bit less expensive. So I can't wait to try this out. I think it's going to give us some variety. I'm going to go ahead and soak these and can them and then just have them on the shelf to see how we end up liking them. That's typically how we like to use our beans. Although it's not that much trouble to start the night before and soak them, I'm typically not planning that far in advance. So I'm really bad about coming home from a busy day and just grabbing jars off the counter and trying to make a meal like lickety split. So that gives me a chance to soak the beans when I have time and I make a big batch. Okay, and to go along with that, I decided to get their savory chili mix. that goes with that 25-pound bag. So this is enough seasoning to mix with that entire bag as it comes through. And I just wanted to give it a try. I really like it when you can get a mix that's a blend that's all organic. It's just hard to find that. And unless you're buying each individual ingredient, then you don't really have that kind of control. And I don't always like the mix that I end up with at the end of the day. So I wanted to try Azure's. I will definitely keep you guys posted on how that works out. This was 1 pound and it was 14.12. So that gives us enough for this entire bag. Ugh. Okay. Sorry about the sunlight, guys. I've been chasing the sun all morning. We're lucky enough to have some great windows in this kitchen, but it does make filming kind of a challenge. Okay, so next it was time for me to stock up on my hard red wheat berries. These are phenomenal. They will store forever. However, I end up using them quite frequently. So I'm probably going to take a bag or two, like vacuum seal a bag or two of these to go ahead and put in long-term storage because I've kind of been pillaging out of that slowly but surely when I run out. This is the most cost-effective grain that I have found to feed my sourdough starter. So if I'm feeding it every day, and I'm using the discard for crackers and stuff, this is perfect. If I'm going to bake a big loaf of white bread, then I might go ahead and feed it with white for a couple of days, and it usually transitions over just fine. But I typically end up using this hard red wheat as kind of my everyday grain that we use a lot in the house. Yeah, 50 pounds, and it was 39.42. So 79 cents a pound, and this is what I use kind of on my day-to-day bread. All right. Next, I went ahead and got another 10 pounds of our elbow macaroni. We probably had enough to get through the next month, but I'm not sure I'm going to be placing an order next month. So I wanted to go ahead and get that now. I really like having this in bulk around. I typically use it for most of our pasta meals. I don't have a huge variety of pastas. I do have that spaghetti I bought last month and then this one. So this is 10 pounds for 23.68, so roughly 230 per pound, and that works out pretty well considering then I kind of have it in bulk ready to go. And then my last giant bag, I have not ordered this in a very, very long time. This is the corn. It's just the whole yellow corn. So 100% yellow corn, 50-pound bag. It's organic and it was $40.47. So we're talking about less than $1 per pound for organic corn. I can either put this in the Instapot or any type of pressure cooker and cook it for cooked corn. I would probably use that more in a soup or a casserole. I wouldn't want to have just fresh corn like that, but it's great for grinding and then using to make cornbread or anything like that. We're getting into winter months. We're about to have all of the bean chili that I just bought. And so I kind of foresaw that I was going to be making a wee bit more of our cornbread throughout the winter months. So I wanted to go ahead and get stocked up on this. I had bought the 5-pound bags in the past. So this is the first time I'm going to be storing a ton of it. But this type of corn does store for a very long time. So I know I can go ahead and get it in vacuum sealed Mylar bags, buckets down in the basement, and it will be there waiting whenever I need it. Okay, now to get into our box. This is kind of all my little fun stuff for the month. I did already open it up to get that Nancy's out, so I wouldn't be letting my sour cream go bad. Needed another pound of chili powder. I use chili powder and garlic powder a ton. So I'm always ordering this. The biggest size that I have seen be really cost effective is their 1-pound bag. So I just buy the 1-pound bag. This is $12.44 for an organic 1-pound bag, and it works out well. I put it in another container. I don't even bother to vacuum seal it because it disappears so fast around here. I also picked up some green lentils. These I really am enjoying. I made a new soup the other day and I loved it. We don't eat just a ton of these, so I didn't want to buy a gargantuan bag, but I did want to have some more on hand to try some more soups and kind of see how we feel about it. Again, I have a really bad tendency to order everything under the sun, and then if I have it all in bulk, it's just too much. So I'm trying to be better about being reasonable and only getting what I think I'm going to use in the next couple of months, unless I know it's something like that corn or the wheat that's going to be a really great long storage item. Okay, so this was 5 pounds and it's $8.60. So it worked out to being $1.72 per pound. And for a protein rich base, I think that's a really good rate. All right. I had to get some more raisins. My family did end up really enjoying these. I have made a little bit of granola, but honestly, I have a little one. I have a little one that will sneak in the kitchen and eat buckets of raisins if I let them. So I can't keep a ton of these on hand. But that same child will sit down and eat 3 or 4 bananas in one sitting or 3 or 4 apples. So, I guess I can't complain that much. It's better than potato chips and Twinkies. So this was 5 pounds and it was $14 and some change. So roughly $3 a pound for organic raisins. They feel pretty fresh. They are in this paper bag. So I definitely repackage these as soon as I open them. I typically am just using like a Ziploc bag because the kiddos are getting into it so much. I want to make sure that I don't have a broken jar at some point. But these would do great vacuum sealed in a ball jar, just like my other stuff that I put in those 2 quart jars. I had a couple things for me in this order that I haven't tried before, at least from Azure. So I am trying to kind of swap away from the hand soap that we've been using historically. So I wanted to give this a try. I also tried to order their dish soap, but unfortunately that didn't ship. They were out. So this is the Azure Clean fragrance free hand soap. So I will definitely let you guys know how that works out. So this is a 1 pound container and it was 606. So a little bit more expensive than a lot of your grocery store soaps. But again, I feel a lot better about these ingredients. I have used their laundry powder and I liked that quite a lot. So I'm just kind of branching out and trying some of their other products as well. We'll keep you posted on that. And oh, yes. I was reading about this brand of cream. I'm having some dry skin right now. This was one of the first places that I had seen it. So I just went ahead and tacked it onto my order. We'll give it a try. I don't even remember what's in it. Oh, it does have sunflower seed. Great. Well, we're still going to give it a try. The other thing I wanted to try, this is so cute. I'm going to have to reuse this bag for something now. I like to keep these bags for when I am cutting up vegetables and I have the end and I'm not going to eat that part, but it's totally fine to use it as my stock. I will just throw it in one of these bags because I really don't care if it gets freezer burnt a little because it's not going to be in there that long. And then I can have my vegetables ready to go for chicken broth or bone broth or anything like that. So I did decide I wanted to try this bumblebee chapstick. Again, I'm just having the heater's been on and everybody's been a little bit dried out. So I wanted to give this a try. So that's it for the boxes. Now for my insanity. Apparently, I didn't have enough fun last month with all the apples that I made into applesauce, all the pears that I made into pear sauce, and all the carrots that I canned. Um, so I'm a little bit of a glutton for punishment here. Let's see. These are my juice grade apples. So I'm going to be making another round of applesauce with this one. My kids really enjoy it when they sit down. I often am going to be opening more than 1 quart jar, so it's nice to have depth. Then I also got 2 boxes of another eating apple. I bought the 20 pounds last month and that disappeared, and I actually had to buy apples at the grocery store because I had already made my juicing apples into applesauce. And I have one kid that will sit down and eat 4 at a time. So let me show you the apples I got. I got a different variety this month because they the ones that I ordered last month, the Fiji apples were out of stock. I did not end up calling customer service about that. They probably would have done something on the couple of ones that I got damaged. But at the end of the day, it just really wasn't so terrible that I felt like they needed to make it different. I think they take really great care of their customers all the time. And I really appreciate that they have such a variety of items and that they are so customer service oriented. I want to make sure that I'm being a good patron of their establishment too. So I just decided that it wasn't worth it, that we cut around it. I made the ones that were damaged, I put in with my juicing apples, I made them into applesauce, and then they were gone. So that's what I ended up doing there. So let me get you the picture of what these apples look like this month. So I did go ahead and get 2 containers of these. These are the eating apples, and they look really nice. There's a couple different sizes here. Some of them are a little bit smaller, but that is totally fine. And then you switch out for our juicing apples. Okay, so these are our juicing apples. They're not quite as pretty, but they still look good. They're still firm. They're a little bit like the color isn't quite as green. It's not as vibrant, but still, I think this is totally workable. They are a little bit smaller, so it is a little bit more work to deal with these. What I ended up doing on my last batch was I just cored them and then I cooked my apples with the skin on and then tried to can them with the skin on because I just feel like you get so much more nutrition that way. So it's really not that big of a bother. Okay, so for my organic eating apples, those were a little bit more expensive. Those were $31.02 for the 20-pound box. So I spent 60 because I got 2 boxes. And then the other apple, the juicing apple, is 25.95. So you're about $6 cheaper for the juicing variety versus the ones that I kind of call our eating apple. And again, I'm just going to take these 2 boxes of the juicing and I'm going to go ahead and make those into applesauce. And then the other 2 boxes, I probably am going to really try to long-term storage one of them, or not long-term, winter store one of them, and then have the other one refrigerated for fresh eating. And so maybe that'll kind of make the kids pace themselves. So that's pretty much everything for this month's box. I really do enjoy getting to share these with you. If you like these unboxing videos or any of my other tutorials, please do hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. And until then, I will see you guys next time.